What I'm about to tell you actually happened. I'm not the kind of person who believes in ghosts. Never have been. If you'd told me 3 years ago that I'd be sitting here now, recording this in the dark because I'm too scared to turn on the lights, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. It started in the fall of 2021. I'd just moved back to my hometown after my dad passed. Couldn't afford the rent in the city anymore. And my mum needed help with the house anyway, so it made sense. That's what I told myself anyway. The truth was I was running away. Running from the bills, running from the grief, running from the fact that at 24 years old, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing with my life. My mum's house sits on the edge of town, where the suburbs give up and the woods take over. Maple Street used to be a nice neighborhood. Now it's half empty. Half the houses are boarded up. Half have for sale signs that have been rusting in the grass for years. The one I grew up in is still standing, though. 2 stories, grey siding, oak tree in the front yard that's bigger than the house at this point. I moved into my old bedroom on the 2nd floor. Same twin bed, same hole in the ceiling from when I threw a lamp at my brother during an argument in 2015. Same window facing the street. The first week was fine. Quiet. Too quiet, maybe. My mum spent most of her time in the downstairs bedroom after her shift at the diner. I kept to myself, worked remotely, tried to adjust to a schedule that didn't involve 2 a.m. Delivery runs. The first thing I noticed was the footsteps. Not in the house, outside. Between 2 and 3 in the morning, every single night, I'd hear someone walking up and down the sidewalk in front of the house. Slow steps, like they were pacing. I could hear the crunch of gravel, then the pause on the pavement, then more gravel. Back and forth. 10 minutes, maybe 15. The first time it happened, I looked out the window. Street light was on. Empty sidewalk. No cars, no people. Nothing but the oak tree and the shadows from it. I figured it was a neighborhood kid, maybe a teen couple walking home from somewhere, or just a jogger with a weird route. But it happened again the next night. Same time, same pace, same 10 to 15 minutes. And again the next night. By the 4th night, I was annoyed instead of scared. Got out of bed, crept to the window, and pulled back the curtain just as the footsteps stopped. Like whoever was out there knew I was watching. I couldn't see anyone. Told myself it was the wind, maybe a branch falling, maybe my own imagination, playing tricks on me because I was home alone and stressed and missing my dad. That lasted 3 more days. Then the knocking started. It came from the back door. 3 soft raps, then silence. Always between 2:15 and 2:30 in the morning. I never answered, not once. I'd lie there in bed, covers pulled up, staring at the ceiling, counting the seconds between the knocks. They never repeated. 3 knocks, then nothing for the rest of the night. On the 7th night, I found something on the kitchen counter when I came down for coffee in the morning. A note, written on a piece of loose-leaf paper, nothing fancy. Blue lines. The handwriting was messy, like they were in a hurry. It said, "I know you're home. I just want to talk." I showed it to my mum before she left for work. She got real quiet, looked at the back door, looked at me. Said it was probably just some kid messing with me. Said the neighborhood had problems. Said I should call the police if it happened again. I didn't call the police. I should have. 3 days later, on a Tuesday morning, I came downstairs to find my mum sitting at the kitchen table. She'd gotten home from her night shift at 5 a.m. She hadn't slept yet. She was crying. She showed me her phone, texts from a number I didn't recognize. 7 of them. Sent between 3 a.m. and 4:17 a.m. The first one said, "Is he up yet?" The second, "He's listening to music. Can't sleep either." The third, "Does he still take his coffee with 2 sugars?" The fourth, "Your bedroom window faces the street, 1st floor on the left." She'd slept through all of it. She had no idea how someone could be standing outside our house, watching, knowing these details. That was when I started sleeping with my phone in my hand. That was when I put a chair under the doorknob every single night. That was when I started leaving the porch light on, even though it burned out every 3 days, and I kept having to replace it. The knocking stopped, but the footsteps didn't. And then I started getting the phone calls. No caller ID, just a number that showed up as private. Always around 2 a.m. I never answered the first few times, but on the 5th call, I picked up. Dead air, not the kind of dead air where the line is disconnected. This was deliberate. I could hear someone breathing on the other end. Slow, steady, like they were listening to me breathe back. "Hello?" I said. The breathing got louder. Then a voice, barely a whisper, said, "You're still awake." I hung up. The text started the same day. Same unrecognizable number. Just 3 words, every time. "I can see you." I didn't tell my mum about the calls. She was already stressed enough. She'd started leaving the bedroom door open at night, sleeping with the hallway light on. I could hear her tossing and turning, coughing, watching TV until dawn. I didn't need to add to it. Instead, I started doing research on my own. Found out that our house, the one on Maple Street, was built in 1952 by a man named Arthur Penhaligon. He was a quiet guy, according to the town records. Lived there alone with his wife until she died in 1978. Then he lived there alone until 1992, when someone reported that he hadn't been seen in 3 weeks. Police broke in and found him in the attic. He'd died of an apparent heart attack. Been there for weeks. But that's not the part that stuck with me. The part that stuck was something I found in a 1993 newspaper clipping from the local archive. Arthur Penhaligon had left a note before he died. It said, "They're still watching. Make them stop." I didn't know what to do with that. Couldn't tell if it was relevant or just a weird coincidence. Maybe he was sick. Maybe his mind was going. I tried to tell myself it didn't mean anything. Then the knocks started again. This time they were different. Not 3 soft raps anymore. They were harder, louder, ringing through the house at 2:12 in the morning. I called the police that night. Told them everything. The footsteps, the note, the texts, the phone calls. They said they'd patrol the area. Said there wasn't much they could do without proof. Said I should get a security system. I didn't have the money for a security system. But I did the next best thing. I set up my laptop in the corner of my bedroom, pointed the webcam out the window, and let it record overnight. The first 2 nights, nothing. Just an empty sidewalk, the oak tree, the neighbor's yard. The 3rd night, something showed up. I was watching the playback at 7 a.m., coffee in hand, and I saw it. A figure standing at the edge of the woods across the street. Just standing there, not moving, staring at the house. I rewound, paused, zoomed in. It was wearing a dark jacket, dark pants. No face that I could make out. It was just standing there, perfectly still, like it knew it was being recorded. But here's the thing that made my blood run cold. In the footage, the timestamp showed 2:17 a.m., the exact time the knocks always started. And in the corner of the frame, past the figure, I could see something on my mum's car. A piece of paper tucked under the wiper blade. White paper. I paused, stared at it. I hadn't put anything on her car the night before. I went downstairs, got my keys, and walked out to the street. Paper was still there, fluttering just a little in the wind. I pulled it free, unfolded it. Same handwriting as the first note. Same loose-leaf paper. This one said, "You filmed me." I felt every cell in my body go cold. Not the kind of cold you feel when it's chilly out. The kind of cold that starts in your stomach and spreads to your hands and feet and behind your eyes. The kind that tells you something is very, very wrong. I looked up at the window I'd been recording from. Second floor, left side, dark upstairs bedroom, my bedroom. And then I noticed something else. The webcam light on my laptop was still on. The little green LED that shows when the camera is active. I hadn't turned it off since I left the house, which meant whatever was in that footage, whatever had been standing across the street, had known it was being recorded, had known I was watching, and hadn't cared. That's when I decided to get the hell out of there. That's when I packed a bag, grabbed my passport, and booked the first flight I could find to anywhere that wasn't here. I'm in a hotel room now, somewhere on the coast. Corpo rate is the only thing I remember. I'm writing this because I need someone to know what happened, because I need to get it out of my head. But here's the thing that's keeping me awake tonight. The thing that made me want to record this in the first place. I checked my phone 5 minutes ago. Battery was at 23%. I'd just plugged it into the wall, so I glanced at the screen, and I saw a notification I didn't recognize, from an app called Find My Device. It said, "Your device was located at Maple Street." I haven't been back to Maple Street. I haven't left this hotel room since I arrived. My laptop is here on the desk. The webcam is covered with a piece of tape. The window is locked. The door is locked. I put the chair back under the doorknob just like I used to, but I keep hearing something outside the window. Not footsteps this time, not knocking, something softer, something like breathing. And I just realized something. The hotel I'm in is on the coast. There are no sidewalks outside my window, just a parking lot, and then the ocean. And whatever is breathing out there isn't coming from the parking lot. It's coming from above. I'm on the second floor. I haven't opened the curtains in 2 days. But if I turned around right now, if I looked out that window, I know what I'd find. I don't want to know what I'd find. So I'm sitting here, in the dark, speaking into this screen, because at least if I can hear myself talk, I can pretend I'm not alone. The scariest part isn't what happened at my mum's house. The scariest part is this. Whatever found me there didn't stop following me just because I left. Some things don't work that way. Some people, or whatever they are, they keep coming. No matter how far you run. I'm tired. So tired. My battery is at 12% now. The breathing outside is getting louder, closer, like whatever is out there knows I'm recording this, like it knows I can hear it. I think it wants me to know that running didn't help. I think it came here to finish what it started. That's all I have left to say. I'm going to close the laptop now, turn off the recording, try to get some sleep. If you're listening to this, if somehow this finds its way to you, I'm sorry. And if you ever move into a house on Maple Street in a town you don't recognize, and you hear footsteps outside between 2 and 3 a.m., do the smart thing. Don't look out the window. And whatever you do, don't answer the door. Because once they know you're home, they don't leave.